Recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume we have up first is a garbage AI engineer resume. Now you may be asking, how do I know it's garbage before I even look at it? Well, they told me. They told me their ratio, and the ratio is how you can tell if your resume is good or garbage, which is simply how many applications it takes to get an interview. If your resume is getting one interview per 50 applications at a minimum, it's actually pretty solid. That's like a C- resume that passes. If it takes you over 50 applications to get an interview, well, then it's garbage. And this one takes them over 150 applications to get a single interview. That's why this AI engineer resume is garbage. So my methods get you a 1 in 7. That is the average. So that's one interview per 7 applications. But let's find out why this resume is garbage. So what do we need for an AI engineer? We need degree, Python, ML, LLMs, cloud, GCP, Azure, AWS, that you've built stuff in production, agentic systems and multi-agent, agentic coding, frameworks, so LangGraph, LangChain, Google ADK, OpenAI, Agent SKD, communicate technical details to non-technical audience. This is massive. So many engineers do not put this on their resume. And part of your job is going to be working for Bob. Bob does not know how to turn on his monitor. Bob is the one funding your project. You have to explain to Bob why using an OpenAI agent SKD over LangGraph is going to be beneficial to the project. And you need to explain it in easy to understand details. So, communicating technical details to a non-technical audience is critical for an AI engineer. Then we also need MLOps, AI architecture, and AI orchestration. So, recruiters only have 20 seconds to find those in qualification format, not keyword format. So, let's see what I cannot find, which since this resume gets over 150 to 1, probably won't be able to find anything. But let's find out. And go. Shipped a production AI SaaS from 0. Okay, good. To paying users. What does that mean? Multimodal, whisper, this doesn't matter, this doesn't matter, 99.8 irrelevancy, 1,000 daily tasks, this is irrelevant, this doesn't matter, rest 8 points, okay, SQL, good. That doesn't matter in time. That is it. That is all the time I had. So, why does this resume stink? Well, it's because it does not have any qualifications. It only has keywords. And I'm going to explain what those are. So, you may be wondering, Lee, what are you talking about? If you look down here, LangGraph, LangChain, LLM, RAG, Python, all the stuff that you want is right here in this skills section. Well, I said we're looking for qualifications, not keywords. So these are keywords. Keywords are just what the hiring team needs, which in this case is the manager. But a qualification is what you've done, which is a keyword, plus how you've used that keyword, plus the non-technical reasons you've done it, basically the business reasons you've done it, that is understandable to a layman. So why you've done it, plus where you've done it. And if it is not what, how, why, where, it does not count as a qualification. So everything in this skills section cannot be used, unfortunately. Then we go to here, and the first part of the sentence you actually had me, which was shipped a production AI SaaS. All right, good. That's what I'm looking for. From 0 to paying users in 72 hours, though. That's a little weird. Like, what do you mean paying users in 72 hours? Was it a singular user? Was it 1,000 users? What do you mean by that? I don't have enough context to understand what you've done. In addition, a multimodal pipeline whisper transcription to LLM transformation PG vector semantic search at 50 to 100 milliseconds latency is a hot dog. That is not a hamburger, and hot dogs get you rejected, hamburgers get you hired. So, what is a hamburger? I want you to imagine that you're hungry, you go to a restaurant, and you go, I would like a hamburger. So the waiter goes, all right, sweetie, coming right up, let me get you a hamburger real quick. So the waiter goes back to the kitchen, and they bring you a plate of hot dogs. And they say, here's your hamburgers. And you say, no, these are hot dogs. I wanted a hamburger. These are 3 hot dogs on a plate. And they would say, well, I assure you, honey, these are the best hot dogs you will have in your life, ever. And I want to let you know that a hot dog has meat just like a hamburger. A hot dog has buns just like a hamburger. And a hot dog can, in fact, have ketchup, mustard, tomato, tomatoes, and onions, just in fact like a hamburger. So when you wanted a hamburger, what you really wanted, sweetie, were these hot dogs. You would look at them like they were crazy and you would walk away without paying, because that's not what you wanted. And that's the exact same thing here. Paying users in 72 hours with multimodal pipelines and whisper transcriptions, hot dog. That's a hot dog. That's not a hamburger. PG vector semantic search, hot dog. Orchestrated 8 QStash backend background workers achieving 99.8% job reliability across 1,000 tasks, hot dog, not a hamburger. This is why you're getting rejected. Engineered 30 REST endpoints. REST, maybe I could look at REST. No, REST is still a hot dog. With a multi-tenant PostgreSQL, finally a single hamburger, but that's it. This is why this resume is garbage. And again, it's not me. It's not like it's just, oh, Lee thinks this is a bad resume. No, it's everybody thinks this is a bad resume. Everybody is rejecting this person because their bullet points are undecipherable to a layman, and they don't have what we actually need. Where's LangGraph? I saw it in the skills section. I don't see it here. LangGraph is something that we really want. I want to see that. How did you use it? I don't know. You didn't tell me. Where did you use it? I don't know. You didn't tell me. Where did you communicate technical details to a non-technical audience? Because based on how bad this resume is written, I don't think you can do that. And that is a critical one. So while it is great that you got a 9.2 grounding improvement on a IFE vol 441 prompts with a 3-to-1 rescue ratio across 204 interventions validated on CNN, Daily Mail, and 2 tasks, it's a hot dog. You will never impress me. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying the person who is reading your resume will never be impressed because resumes are not built to impress people. They are built to show that you meet these. That is it. If you try to show other stuff than this, you get rejected. So this is why every single company is rejecting this AI engineer, despite how good or bad they are, because shocking, how good you are is not related to how quickly you get a job, or if you get a job, is because this resume is indecipherable to a layman, and it has entirely too many hot dogs. That is why you're getting rejected. And remember, I get you a 1 in 7. That's why you want to listen to me, is I get you 1 interview per 7 applications. In addition, your formatting is awful. This is the formatting you should use. This is how you do it. The link is in the description below. But this is not a formatting issue. This is a bullet point issue. So fix your resume, make it understandable to a layman, make sure you actually include these hamburgers, and stop trying to impress me, and you will actually be able to get a job. So that is all I can do for this resume. Before we go to the next one, I just want to thank my members. My members get access to videos early, and if you want to be a member, you can join in the link below. But they are the reason that I can keep this channel free. They keep the lights on for this channel, so I am a small channel and your support means a lot. So thank you for allowing me to keep doing this content. Your support allows me to do that. So thank you very much to my members. And if anybody else ever needs help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a full stack software engineer. This person has stated, I live in a state that has the worst job market for juniors and new grads. It's a bit rough since I can't feasibly move at the moment without a nice relocation package. And honestly, I wouldn't recommend people move for a job if they can help it. The amount of times that people have moved for a job and then that job has laid them off and they are stuck in a new city with no job is quite high. That can happen. So I would always caution people about moving for jobs anyway, because that's something that can happen to you. And you don't want to be moving to a high cost of living state and then get laid off 3 days into your new job, because unemployment, while it will help, will not cover all of that. I would say out of 170 job apps, I've got about 4 interviews this month. So I think that this resume is good. I wonder if there's more of just where I live making this job harder, since most roles want 6 years. Also, any tips when it comes to looking for out-of-state roles? Or should I try to make it work in my current state? So I get people a 1 in 7. There is an asterisk on that. One of those asterisks is if it's remote. I get you about a 1 in 25 if it's remote. But if you're not a dev with about 4 years experience, it might be like 1 in 40, just because it's really tough to get a remote role. So any tips when it's going to out of state is what you want to do is you still want to put like US citizen here, but instead of in this, what you want to put instead is moving to X by Y date, can move earlier if needed. But that does mean they probably won't give you a reload package. Otherwise, if you're applying to remote roles, you got to be very, very early, and you've got to up your application ratio because remote roles are highly sought after. So let's see if the resume by itself is good, which it might be. And again, there's just a limit to how much sometimes I can do. A 1 in 7 to a 1 in 20 for remote is pretty fantastic, especially for a new grad. So what do we need for a full stack? We need degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. I swear to you, I need it. Everybody fights me in the comments of this. Every single job is asking for TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. I did not stutter. That is not a mistake. That is something you needed. But Lee, TypeScript means no, it doesn't. Nothing means nothing. If it's not explicitly stated on your resume, it does not count. So I don't care that TypeScript means X. You need to have all of that on your resume. So TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, RESTful APIs or REST APIs, SQL, any, Cloud, any, backend, any, React or React Native, Git or GitHub, CI/CD or Agile or DevOps, or I should say and, not or, and then extra credit for all that other good stuff. So let's see if this person can get a job with the boys, or if Homelander will stop them. 20 seconds is on the clock, which I really hope I'm not Homelander in this metaphor. I do not want to be that person. That is a very, very oof. All right, 20 seconds on the clock. And go. Okay, good. Built a vendor payment dashboard with TypeScript, JavaScript, React. Striped vendor manual process. Okay, good. Created a customer messaging system using PostgreSQL, Go REST. Deployed on AWS, allowing mobile users to communicate in real time. Developed a database migration tool with independent failures. Perfect. Designed and deployed to Python and fast or machine learning. Integrated with Node.js, MongoDB. Time. This might be about as perfect as you're going to get. Especially if you only have like a year's experience and basically in the area that you're applying, especially in Utah. I think this might be what you're going to get, which is about a 1 in 30 to a 1 in 50. Because there's a limit to what you can do with a new grad. So is there anything here I can change to improve? Let's go line by line and see what you have. You have all this stuff in the first one. You have this stuff in the first one. Then we go to React, which is good. Then we go to the next line, which is PostgreSQL. PostgreSQL and RESTful APIs. That's good. Then we have Cloud. I did see. Let's see. Where's the back end? I actually need you to add one more thing, and it needs to be Python, Java, or C#.net. I need the actual back end. That actually is oh no, there it is. C#.net. I see it. My brain didn't work. C#.net. This is a slight issue, but you do have it. So here's what I think we need to do. I don't think this is an awful resume. I think, though, we need to change a couple of things. So one, GitHub Actions. I'm not looking for GitHub Actions. I'm looking for GitHub. Nor am I looking for GitHub Actions CI/CD. So I would recommend you remove the actions and then put a comma here. So it says, developed a data migration tool with C#.net, GitHub, and CI/CD pipelines. Or CI/CD pipelines and Docker to prevent X and Y. Then what I would do is I would switch around React and AWS in this. AWS is critical. It should be built a vendor payment dashboard with TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS in an AWS environment to integrate with Stripe to automate the rest of the sentence is good. And then down here, we can do created a customer messaging system using PostgreSQL, comma, React. Actually, here's what I would do. This also needs to switch. So React should go from the first to the second one, and then you need to switch these two. The second and third bullet points need to be switched regardless, is I want to see the backend language there. So I wanted to do built a vendor payment dashboard with everything the same except replace AWS with React. And then in the second bullet point, it would be developed a data migration tool with C#.NET, comma, GitHub, comma, CI/CD pipelines, comma, and Docker to do the same thing that you were doing. And then the third sentence would be created a customer messaging system using PostgreSQL, comma, RESTful APIs, comma, and React, comma, and Go to deploy, allowing mobile users to communicate. Remember, comma, not Go RESTful APIs, Go and then comma RESTful APIs. You need to be specific, because if JavaScript means something different than Java, which it does, then Go RESTful APIs could mean something different than GitHub Action CI/CD. So these are some minor changes, and I think that will improve your ratio, but considering where you're applying to and your location, there is never going to be a magical panacea, but they should still at least increase your ratio slightly to give you a better shot at getting your interviews. Next, resume. This is a resume of a Salesforce developer with about 5 years of experience. So, what do we need for Salesforce? We need degree and any certs you have. This is the case of certs matter a lot for Salesforce devs. What certs matter depends on the company, but you want to list them all. Then we need the industry you're in and the word Salesforce. I want to see the word Salesforce a lot in your resume. I've actually specifically had managers reject candidates for not having the word Salesforce in their resume enough. And I've had to fight back and say, manager, no, they have it. They just didn't think they needed to put it in. So then we need Apex, triggers, Lightning Web Components, LWC, Flow, SOQL, and Social. Then JavaScript. I think we don't need reports and dashboards that much. Cloud, Agile, Jira, Salesforce architecture, RESTful APIs or REST APIs, and integration. And again, explain complex tech topics to non-tech audience. Microsoft 365 application suites, MuleSoft, DevOps, and CI/CD. So let's see what we can find. 20 seconds on the clock, and go. Formatting's bad. Cloud, what cloud? For using Apex, good. Lightning Web Components, and platform automation. At least securely specific question information. Okay, too long. A lead cloud sales. What cloud? Mentoring through Junos, reviewing Apex code. You already mentioned this. Automation. All right. Created Apex. You already mentioned this. Batch. You already mentioned this. Service cloud. What cloud? And event data and time. Okay, this is not a very good resume. So first things first, formatting should be like this. You will probably have 3 bullet points total, which are going to be here and here, and those are going to be your certs. And what you're going to do for those certs is you're just going to list them. You don't need to tell me if they're active or not. As long as you have them on the resume, it's implied. So you're going to put like cloud and data and agent and all that other certs there, and you're going to try to fit them into those 2 lines. Then you also need to make sure your degree is up at the top. That is critical. That is what people want to see. And then please follow this formatting, because it's really hard to read this. And I've seen a lot of Salesforce devs, and y'all's resumes are crazy. Now, a couple of things that are problems with this that we go into. 1, what cloud? You need to put the type of cloud. Is it AWS? Is it Azure? Is it GCP? I don't know, but you did not tell me. So you just want to tell me what the cloud is. Second, if you notice, Lightning Web Components, I put up here as LWC. So what you want to put is Lightning Web Components parentheses LWC, so that they know that that is what it means. And then you can actually just end the sentence here. I don't need the rest of this, right? Enabling patients to complete and submit required information online. That's all we need. Then develop Sales Cloud development for grant management with 3 developers and reviewing Apex and LWC. You've already mentioned that. And Salesforce you didn't. So everything here does not count except for the one Salesforce. So this bullet point can be deleted. Then again, you already mentioned this. You already mentioned this. You already mentioned this. You did not mention this. So again, there's only one extra keyword. Then design Excel. I'm not looking for Excel. I'm looking for Microsoft 365. ETL I would have. I've seen managers want to look for that. Python, improving data accuracy and reducing manual processing time. You can end the sentence here. I don't need to see this. But if you notice, what do I not have? Well, I have Apex. I have Lightning Web Components, although you spelled it poorly. I have the word Salesforce. I don't have industry. I don't have flow. I don't have SOCL or social. I don't have JavaScript. I don't have the type of cloud. I don't have Agile. I don't have Jira. I don't have architecture. I don't have RESTful APIs or REST APIs and integration. I don't have the ability to explain complex tech topics to non-tech audience. I don't have Microsoft 365. I don't have MuleSoft. I don't have DevOps, and I don't have CI/CD. So this is why you're having issues, is you don't have enough stuff. You have almost an entire half page of the same thing. I need you to make these bullet points clear. I need you to have more of these keywords in these bullet points, and I need you to mention the stuff that I actually need. There's not a lot of hot dogs, but there is a lot, there's a lot of hot dogs in this. So that's all I could really do for this. It's just because there's not a lot here. I just need more. Next resume. This is a software engineer intern full stack. So this person said, hey, I love your videos. Thank you. The resume is translated from French to English, so the grammar may look a little bad. Excuse my French. And before knowing your channel, I had like a 100 to 0, so I'm trying to prepare my CV for the next summer year. So one quick note. Which this might not actually matter to anybody, but a CV is technically different than a resume. A CV is curriculum vitae, which is only used for schools, and is actually something I don't know how to make, but every single person I've ever met except one has referred to CV and they meant resume. So technically there is a difference between a CV and a resume, but not a single person has ever used that difference. Except for one Reddit comment that I answered and it looked like a fool because they actually meant CV when they said CV. So what you really meant is resume, because internships need resumes, not CVs. That is a very minor issue, but whatever. I just wanted to go over it. So what do we need for an intern? Well, we only need 4 things. Every single intern only needs 4 things. They need to show that they are currently enrolled in their degree. They need to show a basic knowledge of the tech stack of whatever it is they're doing. So in this case, it would be TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, SQL, cloud, AI, object-oriented programming, that kind of stuff. Then I need to see that you can work together with others and take direction and criticism. And I swear to you, the interns that have less tech but do show you can work with others and take direction and criticism are the ones that get the interviews. And that is the ones that I've given people interviews, is when they add the ability to work well with others and take direction and criticism. So let's see what we can find on this. 20 seconds is on the clock. And let's find out. And go. Okay, formatting's good. Develop features for full stack web apps, trap servers using HTML, JavaScript, Angular. That's okay. Modernize existing JavaScript, maybe to clarify code structure, maybe to maintain. It's okay. Develop recipe cloud with synchronized server resources. This is too technical. Update deployment configuration, analytics to adapt to delivery errors. Again, kind of technical. Time. So here's what we want to do. All right, there is a flaw in my resume thing, which is this is not work history or projects. It's work history, and then below this you would put projects. I am planning on fixing this soonish, so hopefully more people will not make this mistake because this one's on me, but it should be work history here and then projects. If you don't have work history, replace it with projects, but it's not both. It is not both. It's work history or projects, not both. So, because you don't want to combine those. So here, my problem with this is you kind of buried what I needed a little bit further down. Like, don't be afraid to put this stuff, because I like what you wrote here. I didn't get to it. Took part in daily meetings, sprint planning, retrospective, and code reviews within an international agile scrum team, incorporating the technical feedback to deliver fixes aligned with the team standard. That's phenomenal. That's great. I love it. Why are you hiding it at the very bottom down here? This should be your second bullet point. Interns, I swear, they keep thinking they need to bury this stuff or hide it. You shouldn't. This should be your second bullet point. I want to see this second. I love this stuff. They would love this. This is what's going to get you an interview. And then this one, which is fine because you already said like RESTful APIs and SQL, but like there's just a lot here and you don't need to go over this much tech. Now, I will say, I don't know how long you've been here, but if you've been here less than 6 months, you do not need 5 bullet points. You need 3 months. I don't know if this is an internship. I don't know if this is a full-time job, which you'll probably tell me. Also, I'm a little confused here that you said graduated. Maybe this is a translation error, but you're not going to get an internship if you've already graduated, which I don't think you have. Because you said I'm trying to prepare my CV for this summer next year. So I think that might be an error. But you have too much tech. But how you wrote this sentence is great. I love this. I love all of this. I want you to write this more. I want this to be above. This should be your second bullet point. Do not hide your ability to take direction and criticism as an intern. It is what's going to get you a job. Like, you could safely delete these and be fine. Although I would honestly just move them around a little bit. Like, keep Java in here, right? Maybe put Java in this bullet point, and then move cloud and SQL down to this one right down here, which would be good. And then that way you have 3 really, really solid bullet points for a job that I don't know how long you've been at, but at least you wrote this right. And this alone will start getting you stuff. Next, resume. This is another software engineer intern, which I think another actual full stack too. So we already know what we need. I don't need to do these again. Let's see if they actually have it. Their ratio is 1 in 100. So let's see what it is. 1 in 100. Let's see if that's actually true or not. So 20 seconds on the clock. And let's go. All right, good. Built a web app using TypeScript, JavaScript to turn inbound that's good. Love it. Architected a new backend with Firebase. Hot dog. Integrated update with OpenAI. Good. Hot dog. Zapier hot dog using a hot dog to personalize. Hot dog. Worked closely with the senior architect into backend design and time. You've only been here since May, and I'm recording this in July. This should be 3 bullet points. I like your first one. I like your first bullet point. I don't think I would really change anything about it. I think it's fantastic. It's great. Love it. You told me a phenomenal non-technical reason of why you did it. You told me exactly what I needed to know. You have everything there. If anything, I think you may want to remove LinkedIn and Meta. Like, just say that turned inbound leads into personalized sales. I actually don't know if the Meta and LinkedIn is needed. So you can just put inbound leads into personalized sales emails. But, like, I want to give you a congrats. That's phenomenal. That's a phenomenal way of writing it. So good. Everybody clap for them. Like, that's good. Then we get to here, though, and this is where we start to get to the problems, is right down here is architected a Node.js backend. Okay, that's fine. That's what we're looking for. With Firebase, nope. Firestone, nope. Webhook events to capture leads and auditable history, maintain a customer interaction, accurate record keeping to hands off to the auditing team. You could probably just delete this whole thing and replace Node.js with something else. It's not terrible on the why, but most of it is a hot dog. And then here, integrated RESTful APIs with OpenAI. Okay, good. SendGrid, hot dog. Zapier, hot dog. Into an event-driven workflow using webhooks. This is unnecessary information. I don't need to know this. This OpenAI automating personal outreach email across 5. Just say third-party services. I don't care how many of them. The volume doesn't matter. The fact that you've done it does. While reliably engaging, what do you mean reliably engaging? I still don't fully know what you've done, which really makes me sad because you wrote an excellent why here, right? Like this one is great. This one is great, despite the second one being bad because there's nothing I need besides Node. But you'd have a very bad explanation on this one. So I'm gonna need you to rewrite this sentence. In fact, I would kind of combine the keywords of this one into this one, and then delete that one so that we have only 3 bullet points. And then work closely with a senior software architect, incorporating technical feedback into backend design. Good. GitHub CI/CD. Stop saying GitHub CI/CD. I don't care if that's real. I need you to put GitHub, CI/CD workflows. In production software practice, we're improving the platform. This is not a good reason. What do you mean improving the platform? How did you improve the platform? What did you do to improve the platform? What was the point of improving the platform? Right? That's the problem I have with that. And then we go down to here and it's, I don't care about your numbers. This is mostly a hot dog. Good why, though. These are good whys, which is really sad that you had some really good whys, but then these had some bad whys, which is bad. So you know how to write the whys. You know how to. I've seen you do it. First one is fantastic. Love it. 10 out of 10. Applied Python linear. Again, hot dog. Well, not Python. Python is not a hot dog. The others are hot dogs, though. So again, you got to make it understandable to a layman, and you got to be very focused on what I need. And in this case, it's a very basic knowledge of the tech stack. HD5, hot dog. Hot dog. Python you already mentioned, so it's a hot dog. NumPy is fine. And what is HPC analysis? I don't know. So, is this the worst resume ever? No. Their first bullet point is fantastic. Love it. Like 9 out of 10. One small note. The problem is they did not write the rest of their resume like that one bullet point. I want you to look at what you did for that bullet point, and I want you to write the rest of it like it, because that is perfection. That alone will get you interviews. That alone will get you a lot of interviews. So please, you know how to do it. Just write it like you did there, because it's fantastic. So that is it for me. Thank you very much for watching. And to my members who get access to my videos early, if anybody wants to be a member, they can join in the link below. But thank you for keeping the lights on for this channel. Your support allows me to keep making this content. So to my members, I give an extra special thanks of thank you very much for your support. Could not do this without you. And if anybody ever needs help, they can join my live stream at every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter and right here on YouTube. And everybody else, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. Your support means a lot to me. And I'll see you all in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search. Later.